A scene from The Deer Hunter in which war is hell.
Oh, God! I've always rats in here!
A scene from Rambo in which war is fun. There's a big difference in war movies these days, a difference in the way that Hollywood is selling war to kids. That's the subject of this special edition of At the Movies, the movie review program. I'm Gene Siskel, film critic of the Chicago Tribune.
And I'm Roger Ebert, film critic of the Chicago Sun-Times. On this special edition of At the Movies, we're asking the question, is Hollywood selling war to kids? And that question is based both on the new breed of war movies themselves and also on some of the aggressive merchandising of products associated with those movies. Films like Rambo and Commando are rated R, after all. That means, allegedly anyway, the kids under 17 can't get in to see them. But what about the toy departments that feature Rambo and Commando toy weapons of war? Toy departments are a place where kids are supposed to go. Later on in this program, we'll be visiting a toy department to talk to some kids, and we'll also talk to a child psychiatrist who has some strong opinions of her own. But first, let's look at the movies themselves.
As I mentioned at the top of the show, there's been a big change in the last half-dozen years in the way that Hollywood is portraying combat. Quite simply, years ago, in such Vietnam films as Apocalypse Now and Coming Home and The Deer Hunter, the message was unmistakable. War hurt. Combat killed or maimed. Our guys got hurt as much as their guys. One scene that sums it all up in a surprisingly quiet way is a scene in the Oscar-winning film The Deer Hunter in which Vietnam soldier Christopher Walken is recuperating from battle in an Army hospital.
Let me see your name tag. This yours? What are your parents' names?
Lou. My mother's name is Eva.
And what are your parents' dates of birth?
The significant point in that scene is you saw a mangled American body there, and then you saw a lead actor, Christopher Walken, in great pain. You saw the devastation of war. Now, you didn't see any Deer Hunter toys on the market after that film came out. People were stunned after seeing that film, seen mostly by adults. No toy company sold any Christopher Walken hospital pajamas. No toy company made a Deer Hunter tiger cage complete with toy rats like we saw at the top of the show. But look what's going on now in 3 recent combat films. Look at the joy, not the pain, in the big hit Rambo as Sylvester Stallone pretends to be dead as the enemy closes in. A good time to be had by all as Chuck Norris leads his troops, also on a hunt for lost American soldiers, in Missing in Action 2.
Here they come. Get your ass down the cliff.
Whoopee, whoopee, isn't that a lot of fun? And here's Chuck Norris stateside in Invasion USA having a jolly good time planting a car bomb on Soviet-led terrorists trying to destroy an American school bus.
Lose this?
Oh, that Chuck Norris, what a funny guy. And Arnold Schwarzenegger does his thing as foreign terrorists try to destroy him and one of America's most prized possessions, the shopping mall. Now, it's very interesting in these later films, all rated R, as Roger mentioned, the bad guys attack, think about it, they attack kids in school buses, we saw that, and also the kids that inhabit the mall. And that's a very little clever gambit, I think, on Hollywood's part. An effort to get the kids to love their protectors. Chuck Norris protects the school bus. Arnold Schwarzenegger protects all the little shoppers. And that's one of the insidious ways that Hollywood is selling war to kids. It's not real war anymore. It's comic book war. The films are R-rated, but every kid who wants to see one of these pictures, they know they can find a theater owner that'll let them in to see it. And in the theater, the kids are going to stare up at the screen, and they're going to see a big man who protects them from the bad guys.
You know, I liked a couple of these movies. I gave good reviews to Rambo and Commando, too. I think you gave a good review to Rambo. As entertainment, as comic books for adults or for people over 17. But there's no doubt about it, these movies lie about war, and they lie to kids, and the kids are getting the message. That's the interesting thing, that Rambo is a hero to grade school kids who allegedly haven't seen the movie. And we know that they've seen First Blood, the first Rambo movie, probably on cable, certainly in cassette. When the cassettes come home, the whole family watches them. There's no attention page of the R rating. And these kids are finding out an image of war and of the American fighting man, which has nothing to do with the experience that Americans have had to fight war.
Okay, Roger, you mentioned about kids seeing it on cable and cassette and sneaking into the theaters. I got a memo for you that I want to read you. Coleco Industries, this is from this summer, the company, this toy company, has scheduled its major Rambo product launch of all of its toys for the spring of 1986 to coincide with the expected airing of an animated Rambo TV series. In other words, Rambo will be coming next year on Saturday morning kiddie cartoon shows. They're not missing a bet. Every kid is going to see Rambo, and they're going to love Rambo, the fighting man who kills all the people.
So if they don't see Rambo one way, they're going to see Rambo another way. And we're going to go to the toy department in just a second and see what's already there for kids. Next at the movies, the merchandising of Rambo.